I swear, I swear it's so pointless. Being a good citizen is so bloody pointless. I mean, I am the only person on this bloody street. I have seen all manner of just stuff, you know, like there's some big time wheeling, drug dealing, whatever. And I'm thinking, why am I getting involved? Why am I calling the cops and saying, oh, well, not calling them. I see them and I think, okay, I hold it in. I don't say anything. People are saying, oh, don't get involved. But then I have such a bloody try to do the right thing attitude. It pisses me. I literally piss myself off. So I tried to speak to the cops about it because, I don't want to be ringing up saying, oh, yes, this and this is happening, and it's because I see them. And they've come to um, the houses where I live and they're asking questions about some other incident which I know nothing about. So I say, oh, did something happened yesterday where they had to take a car away, and that car was being, I don't know if they know, they took the car away because somebody had complained that there was a car blocking their driveway. So they took the car away. The cops got some car place to take the car away. And that car, for the last number of days, was being searched by drug dealers. They obviously had lost something. It couldn't have been something small because these people were going mental. They were going mental. They were searching the streets around the car. They were, and then other people showed up and there was just all this stuff happening. And yesterday the cops showed up, but they weren't like real cops. They were just the plastic ones, and they came along and they were just looking at this car because I think it's because a complaint was made to someone had said that a car was abandoned, and the cops came and they got some van or um, one of those trucks that takes cars away, and they took it away, and that was it. So the thing is, there's so much around that was happening around this car. Like so, I mean, I can't even describe it. I can't even just so many things were happening around this car. And then I thought, okay, let me speak to them. And earlier they were speaking to, they asked me some questions in regards to something else that happened with somebody else, which I know nothing about, some neighbours' arguments or something. So I thought they'd come round to ask about like what was happening for the last week or so, but it wasn't. It was something else. So I said to them, I tried to tell them, I thought, okay, let me try not to be a non-good citizen and not say anything and keep my nose out of it. I thought, okay, let me just hint to them by asking them if they knew any further in regards to the car that was taken away. They said they know nothing about that. It wasn't their team. So I said, okay. Then I thought to myself, at least say something. So I said, well, around the car, there was more to the car because I think there's a group of people that lost, something, and I'm thinking, why am I saying all this? Why am I getting involved with all of this crap? So I left it at that, and then I thought what I should have done as well, before I thought of not getting involved, I should have just told them that the day before that they were chasing someone and that person had escaped to a particular place, but that person was also in connection with the car, and that's what I wanted to say. So apparently they showed up again to in regards to another incident, just some domestic dispute, but not domestic violence. It was some domestic dispute between these neighbours. And so when they showed up again, they were talking to the neighbours, and the neighbour, and then I went over. Well, I tried to call the cop over to where I am, and I said, look, I just want to say, and before I could even finish, he's like, oh, you know, I understand he was dealing with those people, but at least he could have said, oh, I'll come back and speak to you another time. He's like, oh, I'm dealing with this. You need to call this number. No, I know. You're not privileged. You're a cop. You're not privileged for me to be picking up the phone and calling the numbers, because nobody does that. You should be privileged that I could even bother to tell you what's been happening. You should be privileged that I could be bothered to turn around and say, well, actually, this is what I saw, because no one else on this street could be bothered. And that I know for a fact, because many things have happened where I've said to the neighbours, that person's going round. I mean, it's a nice area, but once in a while, because it's near the town centre, you'll get somebody who'll come down and try and do things. So there was someone one night a few years back who was going up and down the street testing all the cars to see if he could get in to steal them. So I told the neighbours about it, and they said, you should tell the cops. And I said, no, I'll just tell the neighbours about it. And I had a good idea then. That was a good idea. Just what's the point of telling the cops anything? Because nobody else does. There was a fight somewhere, and guess who went to the cops to say, this is what I saw? Me. Did anybody else do that? No. But who did the cops speak to as if they were the guilty ones? Me. So I thought, I can't be dealing with it. Now, what I saw seemed a bit bigger than the situation than normal, but I just thought, I'm sure he was like at the end of his tether because he had all this stuff to do. But the thing is, he ought to realise that for someone to come forward, sometimes it's not as simple as just picking up the bloody phone, ringing 101, because they ask you all sorts of bloody questions. They want to trace your number. And, and I'm not going to be ringing Crime Stoppers and all that. I'm just not going to do it. I saw the opportunity. You was there. I wanted to tell you, and you was busy doing something else. And you said it was your other team. So I'm not going to go around to different teams, say anything. So I said to him, look, I just can't be bothered. And he said, well, if you can't be bothered then. I said, no, I bloody well can't. Well, I didn't actually say that. I said, I just stormed back inside, because really and truly, why should I waste my time when nobody else will? Do you know what? Let the bloody drug dealers be prosperous. Let them be bloody prosperous. I hope they flipping make tons and tons and tons of money and become so bloody prosperous, because it's just, they'll get away with it anyway, because it seems like no one comes forward, because everybody's just jaded and can't be bothered. And why should I come forward? There's many times when I've called the cops. I called the cops last year, well, actually this year, but we're coming out of 2017, because some idiot neighbour decided he wanted to follow me around, and he was obviously doing a bit of stalking. And according to the cops, when they came and they spoke to him, they also spoke to his landlord, and it was just concluded that, it's best, in so many ways, it's best not to arrest him or anything like that, because you know why? Because he was trying to change his bloody life. And did I learn from that? No, I didn't. So I saw some incident this week, and I thought, let me keep it to myself. But knowing me, with my do-gooding, bleeding heart crap, I decided to go and speak to the cops. And why should I bloody speak to them? When I've called them in the past, they've done nothing to pissing well help me. Some guy following me around, they can't go any further with him, because he's trying to change his life, and he was just probably looking out the window, not looking out the window, just standing in his garden. Okay. So there, it's absolutely pointless. It's pointless. It's like, just do what the hell, like the flipping, certain people can just do what the hell they want and get away with it, because no one will come forward anyway. And you know what? I completely bloody understand that. Never again.